Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are doing fine at home. My name is Kumari Neha. I am working at Bharatidasan Matriculation Higher Secondary School, Arkonam, and the lesson which we are going to see today is from class 8th chemistry, and the name of the lesson is element, compounds and mixture. So let's see what does these three words mean, right? So children, tell me what you can see in the screen. Yes, Darshini, can you tell me what is there in the screen? Yes, you are right. This is honey. What is this, children? This is milk. What is this? This is cheese. Cheese you like, right? You put it in the sandwich and you eat it properly. And what is this last one, children? This is salt. Yeah. So what do you think that what are these elements or what are these things present here? You think that this is pure honey, pure milk, pure cheese and pure salt. But exactly, can you tell me whether this is pure or not? Yes, you cannot say that these elements are pure because, for example, if we are taking milk, in the milk you can see that there are many chemicals present and it is some or the other kind of vitamins and minerals too. So in the milk you can see calcium, phosphorus, riboflavin and vitamins also, right? Same way, if you are taking the packet of a milk, behind you can see a nutrient fat. In this nutrient fat, it will look a little bit like this. In that you can see that our milk contains calories, which is the energy, fat, cholesterol, sodium, potassium and carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is what, children? It is in fibers form or sugars form. Same way, you cannot say that the milk which you are drinking is a pure milk. So previously we used to think that all these things are pure, but exactly these are not pure because the integral part of these elements are having different elements present into this, right? Now let's see here what are the pure substances. So children, first you tell me what the images here you can understand with. So first, here image is iron. What is this? Iron. Same way, what you can see here? Actually, this is sulfur and sulfur is a metal. So what is this, children? This is sulfur. Same way, above you can see that in the atmosphere there is the gas which we inhale for breathing, and that gas is oxygen gas. What is this, children? Oxygen. So same way, after seeing here that we are talking only about iron, sulfur and oxygen, here you can see that there is only one kind of element or one kind of molecule present in that, right? So you can say that anything which has only one kind of substance, that is pure substances. So what is this pure substance? It will have only one kind of substances, okay? Same way, now if I give you an example of this, now can you tell me what are these? Yes, here you can see that this is salt. Here what is this? Here it's written also, it is CO2. What is CO2, children? CO2 is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. Same way, if you are seeing this carbon dioxide, below you can see what is this, children? This you add in tea, sugar. Yes, this is sugar. So even in sugar, you will see that sugar is not made up of only one kind of element, because what is the formula of sugar? Formula of sugar is C6H12 and O6. That means sugar is having carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So here you can see that sugar is having three different elements. Salt is having Na, Cl, which is sodium chloride, and carbon dioxide is having carbon and 2 oxygen. That means only the one kind of substance. That does not mean it's a pure substance, but pure substance can also be a kind of substance which is having a definite proportion of elements in that. For example, in NaCl. In NaCl, that is salt, you can see there is one Na and one Cl. Same way in sugar you can see that there is 6 carbon, 12 hydrogen and 6 oxygen. So this is fixed. For example, if I change the 6 as 7, can you call it as sugar now? No, right? So it is having a fixed volume or definite proportion of elements. Same way carbon dioxide is CO2. Only when it is CO2 you will call it as a pure substance of carbon dioxide. For example, if I tell you that it is CO3, can you tell it's carbon dioxide? No, right? So that is why all the pure substance will have a definite proportion. Now let's see some characteristics of pure substances. So first characteristic of a pure substance is it is homogeneous in nature. What it is? Homogeneous. So children, homogeneous means only one kind of element will be present. For example, if you are taking O2, which is the oxygen, here only oxygen molecules are there, right? Same way, if you are taking water, H2O, in this also there will be 2 kinds of elements, but there is a fixed definite proportion. So even this is known as a pure substance. Same way, the second property is all the pure substances will have a definite set of equilibrium, or you can call it as definite set of elements. That means if you are talking about a one element, for example, if I tell you salt, so salt will always be written as what, children? It will be written as NaCl. Only NaCl means it's a salt, right? If I write here KCl, will you tell me that it's a salt? No, right? So here it's having the fixed elements. Same way, the third property is the composition of a pure substance can be removed by physical means. So pure substances can be separated by what means, children? Physical means. Children, now tell me what is physical means? Yeah, you're right. Physical means that when you can easily break the elements. For example, if you are taking NaCl. So NaCl, if you are trying to break Na and Cl, that means that it's a pure substance, right children? So these are the 3 properties which are showing the properties or the characteristics of pure substances. Now let's see here what is a matter. So children, matter means it's a 3 types of states, which is solid, liquid and gases. So in the solid, liquid or gases, other than that there are 2 more things. One is the pure substances, which is having only one kind of substance. How many kinds, children? One kind. Same way, if you are taking a mixture, mixture is having various or different types of substances. So you can write here 2 or more substances. Okay. Same way, if you are seeing here, pure substance is divided into 2 parts. One is elements and another one is compounds. So elements means it is present in only one form. So what is this? For example, if I take hydrogen, carbon and oxygen. Same way, if I am talking about the compounds, that means it is a mixture of these elements. For example, H2O or H2S, which is hydrogen sulfide. So these are the example of elements and compounds. Same way, when we are coming to the mixtures, mixtures are divided into two parts. One is homogeneous mixtures and another one is heterogeneous mixture. So homogeneous mixture means it is an example where I can take that there is H2 plus O2. So H2 and O2 are gases. Now these gases, when I combine together, it will form vapor of water. So you can see that it's a pure form of water. Same way, heterogeneous means, for example, I take oil and I take water. When I try to mix these elements or mix this mixture, you will see that above there will be oil layer and below it will be water layer, right? So now let's see in details about elements. So children, this particular thing which you can see on the board is known as a periodic table. What is this? Periodic table. Same way, in the periodic table there are total of 118 elements. How many elements? 8 elements, and these elements are divided into two types. One element is a normal element and another element is a radioactive element. So what it is? First is normal and another one is radioactive. So these are the main classification of the elements, okay? And in this figure you can see that there are two types of color present, right? So here the dark color represents that these elements are normal elements. Same way, the lighter colors which you can see here, they represent the radioactive elements, and radioactive elements are the form of elements which emits a large amount of energy from it. That energy can be toxic, which is harmful, or it can be a less harmful, but radioactive means it is compulsory harmful rays. Now let's see what are the characteristics of elements, right? So the first thing in characteristics of element is it is having only one kind. For example, if I tell you hydrogen, if I tell you what is hydrogen, so what you will tell hydrogen? Hydrogen, the symbol of hydrogen is H. Same way, if I ask you how to write carbon, so how you will write it? You will write it as C. So we can say that all the elements are present in a same form or only one kind, right? Same way, the second point is the elements will show or it will break only when there is a nuclear reaction happen. For example, H. Now this H, I cannot break it easily because it's already one type of thing. So for breaking this, only nuclear reaction can break these elements. Can break. Okay? Yeah. So same way, now let's see what is the third property of a element. So the third property is, whenever you are talking about an element which is already of one type, it will have only same kind of atoms. So you can say that atom is the smallest unit of what, children? Unit of element. Same way, if I am talking about the fourth property says that all the elements will always be present in free state. So what are it is? Free state, only the elements will be present. What what does this mean? This means that if you are taking hydrogen, hydrogen can be present as H also. So, H is the free state of hydrogen. Same way, if I am talking about the fifth property is, I told you there are two types of element. One is radioactive element and another is normal element. So, you can make the radioactive elements. So, you can write here radioactive elements can be manufactured artificially. So, you can write here artificially manufactured or artificially made, right? So, and the final point is these elements are of various type. One is a normal element and another is a radioactive element. Other than this, you can see that elements are of metal type, non-metal type, metalloids and even noble gases. Okay? So, this is also a main point present here. Now, let us see what are compounds, children. So, compound means there are one or more than one type of different elements. So, what is compound, children? Compound means there will be two or more kinds of what, children? Kind of substances. Okay. So, when you are telling that compound can be one or more than different types of elements, that means, for example, I am taking here there is one N and there are three H. So, NH3. That means this name is ammonia and this can be named as a compound. So, compound ammonia. Same way H2 also you can call it as a compound, or if it is the same type you can call it as a molecule. So, here H2 can be the example of even a molecule. Later on, water. So, water is how written? It is written like H2O. So, it is written as H2O. It can be named as a molecule also because it is in simple form. Same way, it can also be named as compound. Okay, children? Same way, there are many examples of compound. For example, CO2 can be a compound, NaCl is a compound, then methane, CH4 is a compound, right? So, these are the main properties of a compound. So, now let us see what are the characteristics of compound. So, first, if you are seeing the characteristics of compound, compound is having different kinds of element, right? Even after different kinds of elements, that elements will have its own properties. That means nature of elements which are used can never be separated. So, nature of elements are always what, children? Always same, right? Same way, if we are seeing the second property, which is the second characteristics of a compound, then the second property of a compound, you can say that all the compounds in present are in a nuclear form or they are closely packed. Same way, the third one is a compound you cannot break easily. So, what it is? Compound cannot break easily, right? That means it's difficult to break NaCl into N and Cl, right? Now, let's see what is the third property. So, third property is like elements and pure substances, the compounds will also have a definite property or definite amount. What it is? Definite. You can write definite set of elements. Okay? Yeah. Now let's see what is the fourth property here. So the fourth property is these elements can be compounded or can be broken into separate forms by chemicals mean only. So separation is possible by what means, children? By chemically, or you can call it as chemical means, right? Because for example, if I take HCl, now if HCl I am taking, it is difficult to break the bond between hydrogen. How you write HCl, children? H and Cl. So here there is a bond, so breaking of this bond is little difficult, right? So that is why the breaking of this can be done only by a chemical mean, right? And the last property is it requires a large amount of energy for the separation of elements or compounds here. So students, in this lesson I have attached the study material. The study material will look like this, in which all the answers will be given. Same way, if you are talking here about the question bank, in the question bank there will be only questions. Later on there will be self-assessment. So self-assessment, you have to go through each question and write down in your notebook or in a A4 sheet. Right student? So in this lesson we have talked about elements, compounds and pure substances, right? So the creative question which can be asked in this lesson is, they will give you an example. For example, they will give you H2O. They will ask you what is H2O, whether it is a molecule, compound, a pure substance or what, and then they can ask you what is the reason behind that, right? So I hope you have understood till now and whatever we have discussed here. Next time I hope that we meet again soon. Till then, bye bye.